G'day champions, how you all doing? Sensei John here. Going to talk to you today about two stances, Zen Kutsu Dachi and Fudo Dachi, which are our two forward operating stances in long stance. Typically you would use this in a modern style with jab reverse. So we're going to talk about the body mechanics of this stance, and I'm wearing shorts because not only have I got great legs, but also you can see exactly how my legs are moving a lot easier than when I'm wearing gi trousers. So Zen Kutsu Dachi, let's start off with there. It's a long forward stance. So there's a lot of students who tend to be quite upright like this when they're doing the stance. You don't want to be. You want to be long and low. This allows you to put 60% of your weight on the front leg and really push that forwards. It's a 60-40 split. Back leg, foot needs to be slightly turned out. Leg needs to be straight. Hips rolled under, back straight, core engaged, hips rolled under and pushing forward on that leg. Now you notice that the outside edge of my leg, my foot, sorry I should say, is parallel to the sides. Right? That's important. A lot of students make a common mistake where they allow their leg to collapse in. That feels easier on your thigh and on your calf. However, doing that, and I'm an old karateka, so I have knees that hurt when I do that. Pushing outwards takes the strain off the side of your knee joint. Your knee joint is not designed to be collapsed in like that. Biomechanics means it's got to be pushed out. So this leg needs to be straight as a post, pushing out to the side, that leg straight. This is used in our forehand operations. Right? So it's reverse punch here, this is here, here, reverse arm. Remember, in Shinki now we've started to use less of a hikate return unless it's in kata. Hand up here for these returns, yeah, because this is protecting against stuff here. When we transition to Fudo Dachi, we twist our hips, still pushing that weight forward, and we slightly bend the knee because unless you're a small child with very flexible joints, you can't get a decent hip twist and you actually strain the inside of your legs, so you need to collapse that knee slightly. You're pushing forward still, all your weight is driving forwards. In both these stances, everything's driving forwards. You'll find it easier to drive forwards with a front arm operation. So traditionally, people would do Jodan Agioki and Zen Kutsu Dachi. Our Jodan Agioki is pushing outwards and upwards, moving across more when we use it as a strike and a forearm, pushing forwards. If you get that mechanism here of pushing, you will, and your hand is here ready to do something else, you'll find that you'll push into this stance a lot easier. You're pushing it forward, there's more weight loaded into here, this leg is in the right position, it's slightly turned off, but you've still got that outside edge pushing in here with this arm. Then with a hip twist I can engage, bring the arm forward, snap back into Zen Kutsu Dachi. I'm pushing everything forwards at this point. Block, punch, punch, punch. Hip is powering the technique. My core is engaged the whole time, or certainly at the end, not so much through the transitions, but I'm certainly quite tense as I'm doing this. Here, here. Here you'll notice as well, my hips are still rolled full under, and I'm still pushing forwards into here. So when we're practicing this at home, definitely find a decent space to push in, push in, push in, push in, push in, push in. You can do any block here, 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 here. Yep, you get the idea. Okay, I thought I was done, but Sensei Thomas, who's just holding the camera, has just pointed out to me I didn't tell you anything about body movement, moving forwards and backwards in stances. So let's cover those off. So, I'm lucky. I've got a lovely, fabulous, long kitchen. Some of you will not be able to do that. Although, as I've talked to my students before, I used to practice Zen Kutsu Dachi, moving forwards whilst making a cup of tea. Right. So, when we're moving forwards in Zen Kutsu Dachi, if we've done a rear hand operation, here, step forward, hips have got to be off. The operation we stay low, you step out, and you transition. Old karateka coming forwards into, using my hikate there. So the key thing is height maintenance. Step up, maintain that height, hips are off, loaded, all the weight is back, and you move forwards into the operation. With Fudo Dachi, it's a stepping through motion, very similar. You're here, but you hip twist, step off, and here. It's almost a swinging motion in that you're stepping through and hips at the end, coming through. Punch Sensei Thomas in the face, because who doesn't want to do that? Here, 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 here. Obviously, more than traditional, you're going to go here, and you're going to go here. But obviously you can't go front hand operation here and be static. So this is where we bring in here, here. And this is an informal Zen Kutsu Dachi that we're using. So we're using those stances and those body mechanics, but you have to get the kihon right, the fundamentals of the stance right. Here, rear hand operation, step forward, step out, load up your stance, transition. Here, step out, set the stance every time. Practice this in a straight run at home. Same with Fudo Dachi. Here, step forward, hip rotate at the end. Here, 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 here. Make sure that you're pushing forwards. Get the body mechanics. So obviously, while we're moving forwards and backwards as well, what we're looking for here is which part is moving. So as we're moving forwards, our hips go forwards, and as we're moving backwards, our shoulders move. Otherwise you get a bit duckified. So if I'm moving forwards in either stance, but let's go with Zen Kutsu Dachi, my hips have got to drive forwards. Hips are driving forwards. Okay. You see a lot of students very early on drive forward with their shoulders. Here. And they end up doing that, compromising their stance. If you remember your core engaged, butts rolled under, tight butt, core here, here, keeping this straight, so your hips have got to drive forward, here. When we're moving backwards, I didn't just stay there. Our shoulders lead. Our shoulders lead. It's super important that when we're retreating, our shoulders lead the stance. If not, you stick your butt out like Beyonce. It does not look good. Well, unless Beyonce is doing it. Alright, so step forward, here, step back, here. Remember, when you step back, it's a stopping technique. You're making yourself immovable. So that's that mechanic. Fantastic. Hope you guys are staying safe, stay at home, stay classy.